Hi, my name is Tana and this is my first ever makeup video. I've been wanting to do this for a really long time and just haven't because I've been too chicken and everybody else around me has told me to stop being a chicken, so here we are. I decided to do my first video on a Halloween type tutorial because it's my favorite holiday and I live for Halloween makeup. So what I'm going to kind of do is a look that I did a couple years ago that I had posted and a lot of people wondered how I did it. They really liked it, so I figured I'd do a tutorial on that today. And basically what it is kind of a half makeup, half sugar skull look. So I'm going to kind of walk you through how to do that whole thing. So basically how we're going to start is make sure that your face is washed, prepped, primed, moisturized, everything that you need to do to make sure that stuff sticks to your face. And then I'm going to go in with the NYX Wonder Pencil. I use the color Light, that way I can kind of see. I use that to kind of draw out the initial outline of how I want to split my face in half. So we're just going to go right down the middle. So we're going to start right at the crown and we are going... So I'm gonna go ahead and start with the makeup half of my face first. So basically what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go in with the MAC Pro Longwear foundation. I am in the color NC42. So we're gonna put this on with a damp beauty blender. So we're gonna take that and we are going to blend this into our face. Make sure you go down your neck. We don't want our faces to be a different color than our neck. I really love this foundation. It's really great for people like me that have extremely dry skin. Keep me away from any type of matte foundation because it is not pretty. And then I'm going to go ahead and conceal. I'm going to go in with a little bit of the Tarte Shape Tape. Use the color medium. Go ahead and put that in under my eyes. And we're going to go ahead and take that same damp beauty blender and blend that in as well. And we are going to go in with a little bit of the Laura Mercier translucent powder. We're going to go ahead and set that all over the face. Take a big blending brush. This is the C518 brush by Crown. And then I'm going to go ahead and start with my eyebrows. I'm going to go in with the Anastasia Beverly Hills Dip Brow Pomade in the color Chocolate. I also use the brush that comes with it. I think it's a number 14, unsure. You go in, take the spoolie, and just kind of brush my brows out. Go ahead and dip in with this. This is my favorite eyebrow product to use. I know that some people have some problems with it. The only thing I have to say is that a little bit goes a long way with this stuff. So, especially with a new dip pot of this stuff, I mean, if you use too much, you're gonna end up looking like you have some crazy dark eyebrows. Going to do a simple eyeshadow look, so I'm going to go in with the Huda Beauty Desert Dusk palette. I'm going to take a big fluffy blending brush. I'm going to go in with the color Desert Sand and just kind of put that in all over my lid. It already set my eye. I went in with the MAC Dip Pot, and it is in the color Painterly. So what I'm doing is kind of taking a neutral shadow and kind of going over that just to kind of soften it up, because if you don't, then any eyeshadows that you try to blend in will stick to it and it'll just be a hot mess. Alright, and from there in the crease, I'm going to go in with the color Blazing. Same brush, and then I'm going to just kind of pop it into the crease right here. So I'm going to go back into the same palette and use the color Ode, I believe that's what it's called. Kind of dip my brush in there, tap off the excess, and we are going to kind of tap it into that corner. And we are going to blend that a little bit into the crease, and we're just going to keep kind of packing it in there and kind of darken up that corner. And now we are going to go into the color Celestial. Actually, we're going to go into the color Angelic, the one that's speaking to me a little bit more. And I like to apply this with my finger. It just seems to tack on a little bit better that way. So I'm going to take my finger, kind of dip it in there, and apply it to the inner corner up to the middle of my lid. And then I'm going to take my pinky, go into the color Cashmere here, and just kind of pop it in to this inner corner. Love this palette. There's just something about the shimmers that seem to work so much better with your fingers versus a brush. It's a little bit more pigmented that way. We are going to take a little brush and we're going to go ahead and pop that same color Ode under the lash line. And we're just going to sweep it all the way along the bottom. And then we're just going to kind of smoke this out because you don't want too harsh of a line. Go with that same fluffy blending brush again that I like, and just kind of blend this out. And then for the liner, I am going to go into the Pretty Vulgar. It is a gel ink little bottle. It's really cool. I like this stuff. The only thing that I hate about it is that the actual bottle is just plain black, so it's really hard to see on the inside of it. So you kind of have to, like, one eye look into the bottle to kind of look at what you're dipping into. I'm also using the Pretty Vulgar eyeliner brush. Love this brush so much. So we're gonna kind of dip into there. And we are going to line the eye. I know some people like to do a winged eyeliner and start from the corner. I don't like doing that. For some reason I get a little bit overly ambitious and just make this like insane wing and like don't know where to stop. So I prefer to start from my inner corner, make the line, and then make the wing. So we're gonna go in and to kind of wing it out. I just like to make a nice little line like that, and then kind of bring it right back in. Like so, and there is your wing. Alright, so we're going to kind of go in and finish up this side of the face. I'm going to go in and bronze a little bit. We are going to go in with, actually it is a MAC blush that I like to use as a bronzer. It's in the color Blunt. So I'm going to go in, that same brush that I used to powder with, I actually like using for bronzing as well. So I kind of dip into there a little bit, tap off the excess, and kind of go in and start to contour, warm up the face a little bit. then to highlight, I'm actually going to go in with the Anastasia Beverly Hills Nicole Guerrero palette. My poor little palette has gone through hell. I'm missing 2 of the shades here from traveling and they broke out a little bit. But I am going to go in with the color Forever Young. So I'm going to kind of dip in there with a nice little highlighting brush. And we are just going to go in and highlight here off to the side of the face. This is my favorite highlighting palette. I wish that they would bring this back full time because I don't know what I'm going to do when I run out of this stuff. And that is it for the makeup side of the face until we finish up the lips and put on lashes and whatnot, but we'll get to that at the end of the video. So for this side of the face, we are actually going to go in with a little bit of face paint. My favorite face paint to use is actually by Wolf FX. You can find this online on Amazon, that's where I got it. It's a little bit pricey. I think it's about 10 or 15 bucks for a little guy like this, but it lasts you a pretty long time, and you know, I'm a big fan of you get what you pay for. I like this stuff just because when you put it on, it actually dries down to somewhat of a powder finish. So it's a little bit easier to work with, whereas like a lot of the makeup that you get inside of the Halloween stores right now, they're really greasy, really oily, they look really gross by the end of the day, but this stuff stays all day. It's kind of like wearing a, you know, matte foundation, but it's white instead. So again, you're gonna go in with a damp beauty blender. You're going to go in, not using too much, and you're going to go in and start to apply a very thin layer of this. We'll get this a little bit more wet. It's not cooperating very well. All right, so we're gonna go in a little bit of white, and we are going to start applying it. And so I like to apply it all over like so. Don't use too much, unless you want to go for like that really, really white look. I like to keep it a little bit faint, only because I kind of like more of that ghosty look. So I'll go ahead and go in like this, just kind of blend it out. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and let that dry down a little bit. And then we are gonna go in with any type of eyeliner brush. A really thin paintbrush works too. I know when I did this about 2 years ago, I actually used a paintbrush before I really started investing in having makeup brushes. So I'm gonna go in with a Morphe eyeliner brush, and we're gonna go into the black Wolf FX makeup. So we're gonna kind of like dip it in the water, just kind of like you would do if you were painting, and just kind of go in there, kind of mix it up. So I'm gonna start with following this line that we made earlier and just kind of blend that in a little bit. So I didn't really go into covering up this eyebrow, only because when I kind of do the circle around my eye for that, you know, sunken eye skull look, I'll actually be kind of filling it in with black kind of around here, so my eyebrow will start to blend in. So I didn't really do too much liberty of trying to cover that up as much. So here comes the part where you need to be kind of good at making circles. So I kind of use my eyebrow as a guide and just kind of go around here. So I'm gonna go in with that black again, and try not to get too close to this line because we're going to make kind of like flower petal type shapes in here. So we're just gonna go around. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna continue on with this black. We're gonna start to make little petals around the outside. Just kind of fill them in as you go. To be the outline of our eye. So if you kind of saw what I was talking about earlier about the eyebrow kind of getting lost in the paint, that's why I didn't go through too much trouble of having to like disguise that eyebrow. We're gonna go ahead and do a sort of spider web thing here on our forehead. So really again, we're going to dip in with the black, and we are going to start here and just kind of come all the way out like so. And then I'm going to continue from this corner. And then we're going to kind of do little like little loops essentially, so don't go straight across because then it kind of starts to look like a little tic-tac-toe table. So we're going to start from the top here and just kind of go like little U's. Get my brush a little bit more wet. And go around here like so. And then just kind of keep going all the way down. Your spider web. So this is where things start to get a little bit more fun. So we're gonna start going in with colors. I'm thinking about what color I've been wanting to do this for like days now. I think I'm gonna go in with kind of a lime green, purple, blue type of deal. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna start with going in with a fluffy brush and putting a little bit of green eyeshadow in the middle. I'm actually gonna be going in with the Morphe 35B palette. It's very, very colorful. It's perfect for a look like this. So that's why I've had trouble figuring out what color combination I've been wanting to do. So I'm gonna go ahead and go in with a fluffy brush. Again, I'm gonna go in with that MAC 224. And I'm using a little quick color change pot. This thing's awesome. I like using this if I'm using a lot of different colors in one makeup look. So I'm gonna go ahead and go in with this color green here. And we're gonna go ahead and apply that all around the eye in the middle there. I'm going to go in with a little bit of this bright purple right here. I'm going to dip into there. And I'm going to kind of apply around the outside of the green and kind of blend those two together. Does anybody else open their mouth when they're putting on eyeshadow like this? Bad habit of mine. I think I'm gonna go in with a little bit more green just to kind of blend it out a little bit more. I'm gonna go in with a little bit more of a dense brush, and I'm actually gonna go with a little bit of black eyeshadow from that same palette around the outside and just kind of bring it all together. So I'm gonna take that, I'm gonna dip in and just kind of pat along the outside. And that's where you really get to cover up the rest of that brow that we're hiding. This little Morphe blending brush, just kind of dip in with the black and just kind of blend this all together on the outsides. That way it doesn't look so harsh. So we're going to go ahead and go in and contour the face a little bit. We're going to use some fun colors. So that same purple that we used inside the eye, we're going to use to contour the face. So I'm going to dip in with a MAC contour brush. Kind of dip in there. And we are going to go in and contour the face with the purple. And then we're going to go in with another blending brush. And so I kind of like to add a little bit of depth and dimension to that spider web that's there on my forehead just because it's looking a little too like, so we're going to add a little bit of shadow to it. So basically what we're going to do is go in with a very small blending brush. We're going to dip into that black color and we're just going to kind of tuck it in underneath. Actually, it's too big. We're going to go in with this guy here. So we're going to go in with a little small blending brush, usually one that you would use to blend underneath the eyes. Dip into that with the black, and we're going to use it to apply underneath the spider webs here. Just kind of add a little bit of depth. And then you're going to go in with that little fluffy blending brush. I keep calling it a blending brush, and just kind of diffuse the edges in there a little bit, just to bring it down a little bit. Alright, so for my favorite part, we're gonna go in and kind of bedazzle this a little bit. We're gonna go in with a little bit of the Swarovski crystals. You can get this at any craft store. I found mine at Michael's. You can find them at Joann's, you can find them at Hobby Lobby, you can find them anywhere. So I'm gonna go in with a couple of these and kind of dot them around my eyes, add a little bit of zhuzh to it. So if we can open this. To attach these, I'm gonna go in with a little bit of the Duo eyelash glue. I think it works the best, it's easiest to get off your face, it's flexible, and I feel like that the gems tend to stick onto your face a little bit longer if you're gonna plan on doing this all day. And then I'm just using a little bit of a jewel setter just to help kind of put these on my face. So we're gonna go in and we're gonna kind of dot the glue where we're sticking these gems. Like so, and we're going to continue to go all the way around the eye with this. So next we're going to go back in with that black eyeliner brush again. We're going to dip into the black and we're going to create our little nose and we're going to create the mouth. So for the nose, we're just going to kind of start from the bottom. I like to kind of do like a little pointed kind of nose, like so. And just kind of So what I was going to do is create kind of a little bit of an ombre effect that's going to go across the mouth. I'm going to go in with the Jeffree Star Cosmetics liquid lipstick in the color Weirdo. And we are just going to apply this on one half of our mouth. Dark lipstick like this always makes me so nervous. And then I'm going to go in with a little bit of Jeffree Star Cosmetics liquid lipstick in the color Designer Blood, and I'm going to apply it to the center on the other side. So I kind of like to do like a Joker style mouth instead of that typical skeleton mouth that everybody does. So I'm going to dip into that black again with that eyeliner brush, and we're going to kind of not talk and draw this out. And we're going to thicken it up a little bit. Like so. Then from there we're going to go in and make our little teeth lines. Then at the bottom of our chin, we're going to go in and kind of make like a little flower design there. Like so. Wait for that to dry down just a little bit. And we're going to go in and kind of fill it in like we did over here. So I'm going to go in with a little bit of purple. I'm going to go in with the green underneath it. this look off with a little bit of lashes. I'm going to go in with the Ardell Foam Ink in the number 810. This, ladies and gentlemen, is the finished look. Thank you for watching along with me. This was my first time ever doing this and I had a lot of fun doing it. So let me know if you want to see anything else.